What do you think of when you hear of hungry families? You might think of a third world country that's 1,000 miles away. But the cold hard truth is that you don't have to look so far. Food insecurity is an epidemic in our own country. Food insecurity is the most broadly used measure of food deprivation in the United States. Food insecurity is defined by the U.S. Department of Agriculture as the state of being without a reliable access to a sufficient quantity of food. Food insecurity, especially over time, causes physical, social, and psychological problems in both children and adults. For infants and toddlers in the United States, food insecurity is correlated with higher hospitalization rates and generally poor health. In older children, food insecurity negatively affects academic performance and social skills, and can lead to obesity. To put the crisis into perspective, according to a USDA report, Texas alone is at 18.4% food insecurity, and the national average is 14.6%. While most of us are concentrated on what we're going to do on the weekend, or what restaurant our family is going to eat at, there are families trying to figure out where their next meal is going to come from. Some parents are trying to figure out how to tell their children that there is nothing to eat tonight, and still be able to keep themselves together. These are not families that we see on TV. These are our coworkers, our neighbors, our peers. These are human beings that deserve not to worry about how they're going to feed their family tonight or how they're going to pay their bills. A significant factor that contributes to food insecurity is unemployment. Sadly, this is the reality. 1 out of 2 children live below the federal poverty line in the Rio Grande Valley, the most affected being single-parent families. According to the article, The Hidden Face of Hunger, more than 1 in 3 single mothers reported that they struggled to keep their families fed. Researchers say it is striking that most of the families that face food insecurity contain at least one adult with a full-time job. Obviously, those jobs offer low wages. The United States is recovering from the most recent recession, but by looking at the nation's food insecurity rate, the economic recovery may not have impacted everyone. The recession led to welfare reforms that changed who qualified for food stamps as well as how much is to be received per family, which puts a greater strain on families. Individuals receive an average of $4 a day for the month from food stamps nationwide. More than 46 million people in the nation receive food stamps. According to the Texas Health and Human Service Commission's SNAP enrollment statistics, in the 2 major counties in the valley, which are Hidalgo and Cameron County, there are 357,000 people enrolled in the food stamps program. Many families must try to spread food received from food assistance programs throughout the month. So most people turn to cheaper foods and snacks which are lower in nutrition. Families must cook within their means. Food flexibility is not an option. How can we force people to live their lives like this? How can we allow any human to suffer from hunger in the land of opportunity? Why is it okay for our children to become the casualties against the war against hunger? Most families that face hunger are employed, but they are just struggling due to social injustices that we have allowed to occur. Something needs to be done to rid this country of hunger. You can make that change. You can help defeat hunger. The Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley feeds approximately 42,000 people per week through its networks of more than 230 agencies, which include churches, food pantries, and shelters. The Heroes of Hunger organization is asking you to join the fight by volunteering at your local food pantry. Every hour that you volunteer provides an equivalent of 105 meals to a hungry child. But food banks are limited to what they can receive in donations. If people were to donate $1 to food banks, they could turn that dollar into $13 worth of food. Another way that we can fight hunger can be to have our federal government create a coupon program that would be given to food banks as well as families in need. The coupon program would give greater discounts to food banks as well as families that do not necessarily qualify for food stamps. The corporations that agree to enter this program would receive a greater tax break. Another possible solution is using the agricultural industry of the Rio Grande Valley. Farmers can provide food pantries with produce, and in exchange, farmers would receive a federal deduction in taxes. The greatest tool in defeating hunger would be to expand all federal and state food assistance programs. To eradicate hunger, the simple answer is more money. If we increase funding for food programs, we will see an immediate effect. As an organization, Heroes of Hunger is not proposing an increase to your taxes, but rather a cut to federal taxes. Heroes of Hunger is proposing that members of Congress take a cut to their salary. The average salary of a Congress member is $174,000 a year. According to the Bureau of Statistics, the Speaker of the House alone makes $223,500 a year. If members of Congress's salaries were cut in half, the rest of the money would be given to the food pantries to increase the funding for food assistance programs. The cold hard truth is that money is the kryptonite to defeating hunger. We should hold the members of Congress up to the very reason they were elected, which is to better our country. In the end, this can only be possible with you. And always keep in mind that even if we cannot change the world, through volunteering and donations, we can make a dent in the world.